Welcome to Ageing Matters. We've just returned from the QCOS and Peaks budget breakfast where Treasurer Cameron Dick outlined the budget, particularly from the community services sector perspective. I'd like to congratulate the state government for many of the initiatives that are being funded, and I'll go through a number of those very briefly. But if you want to see more detail about COTA's analysis, it's on our website under the news section. So just looking at what the Premier described as a transformational boost to the health system in response to pressures on the health system over the past 2 years and growth in demand. So we know that obviously COVID has put the Queensland and in fact every other state and pretty much every other country's health system under pressure, but we've also had growth in our population over that period as people escaped other jurisdictions that have been in lockdown. So the state government has invested heavily into health over the next period. So it includes 2,200 new beds over a 6-year period and 15 facilities, 3 new buildings, a dedicated cancer centre worth $750 million in Hurston, and an investment in the ambulance services and the Royal Flying Doctors Service. There's also been an investment of $1.6 billion over 5 years into mental health, and we certainly welcome that. Older people have certainly experienced mental health and well-being as a result of COVID, and $28.5 million in capital funding for the Better Care Together plan for mental health, alcohol and drug services has been announced as part of the state budget. $125.6 million over 4 years and $19 million per year to strengthen the social services in Queensland. That's certainly to be welcomed. We also would welcome the $27.2 million over 4 years and $11.7 per year to uplift bus services in high priority areas such as Gold Coast North. $80.2 million over 3 years towards Activate to boost the maximise opportunities for physical activity. So this is actually trying to get Queenslanders to be more healthy and fit. And one of the things that we've been involved in with the previous Minister for Sport, and we'll continue to work with the current Minister, is around not just younger people being active, but how do we support older people to remain active within their communities. So cost of living rebate, $175 on the next power bill. So that's something that we would all welcome. And increased support for government managed housing rental rebates, reaching 54,700 low income households. There's been an increase in the energy concessions to provide affordable power to households and businesses. And one of the things that we'll have shortly is a interview with our energy advocate, Robin Robinson, that will be up in the next couple of weeks, because we've certainly heard from many of you that it'd be interesting to unpack just what is happening in the energy space. Some general comments around the Queensland economy from the budget briefing. The Queensland economy appears to be remaining strong in comparison to other states, now 7.8% larger than pre-COVID levels. Employment has increased since COVID with 207,000 new jobs, and unemployment has fallen from 5.8% pre-COVID to 4%. State revenue will be boosted through increases to payroll tax for large businesses and new tier royalty levels for coal exporters. That's caused some controversy within the mining industry, but I think as resources are owned by Queenslanders, Australians, that most of us would actually welcome this announcement. From the Department of Seniors, Disability Services and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Partnerships, the state government's budget for 22-23 announces increased funding to develop the next seniors strategy, and we are working with the department around that and look forward to actually having input from older Queenslanders as well over the next 6 months or so. There's also been a response to elder abuse amounting to $12.2 million over the next 4 years. Last week was Elder Abuse Awareness Day. That's something that we continue to work with, not only the government, but many of the organisations that are concerned about the increase in elder abuse within our community. In 22-23, $100,000 is available to continue the Seniors Expo programs that we've been part of with the state government. And we're actually pleased to see that $710,000 has actually been made available to help develop the next seniors strategy, which includes temporary additional resources for the seniors team. $2,845,000 is available to improve and expand elder abuse prevention and intervention responses. There's also been an increase announced in 22-23 for the elder abuse response, which will increase funding for 11 existing seniors legal and support services operated by the community legal centres or Relationships Australia Queensland at 11 locations. So we welcome that. Those services perform a good role within the community, and we certainly have seen increases for their services. So the state government, and particularly Minister Crawford, for his advocacy, needs to be commended. There's also been an expansion of the seniors legal support services to new areas, which is in fact evidence of unmet needs. So they're being established in Ipswich, Logan Beaudesert and Moreton Bay North to provide outreach services to the outback and to the Cape and Torres region. This brings the government total investment in the seniors legal and support service to $6.642 million annually. In total, in 22-23, $7.7 million will be invested in elder abuse prevention and intervention across those legal services, and also the Elder Abuse Prevention Unit and their helpline, which deals with scams and fraud awareness and seniors financial protection services. The budget also for seniors is welcomed. It recognises a commitment to building an inclusive, age-friendly state where difficult issues like elder abuse are recognised and there are avenues for prevention, intervention and responses. So some other thoughts, just some initial thoughts. In terms of health, certainly welcome the improvement in health infrastructure. Very pleased to see the focus on mental health, and we'll be working with the Queensland Mental Health Commission to be particularly focused around those mental health and wellbeing needs of people aged over the age of 65. I welcome the rebate and concessions that have been increased, and as I said earlier, the increase in the Activate program. Obviously the budget's not all good news. We are concerned that in fact there's been no real change in housing. I actually had the opportunity to sit next to the Housing Minister at today's breakfast, and we would welcome further investment in social housing. That's an area that we're hearing more and more that there's a need for, and there's been an underinvestment. If you go back in time to perhaps the 1980s, when there was a significant increase in funding for social housing, in real terms that's been decreased over the last couple of decades. So I look forward to working with Minister Enoch and her team around ensuring that we build on what's already been announced in the state budget. So if you want to hear more or see more about our analysis, please visit our website, www.cotaqld.org.au, and also the QCOS website for a much broader view from the sector. So until next time, stay safe.